So hi everyone and welcome to Scouter Taz. Now today I just want to share with you a few tips about riding on the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail. This came about really when this morning I took some scouts out for a bit of a ride, and none of them had done it before, and I'm thinking, well, there are some things there that we probably should all think about when we're riding the rail trail. So here are 6 tips of mine for riding the Brisbane Rail Trail. Now, number 1 tip is don't stop when you're in the gullies and the creeks. So what that means is along the rail trail there's a lot of areas where the bridges have been washed away, or they've rotted away, or they're not there anymore, and the rail trail sort of diverts and goes down like a gully or through the creek areas, goes back up. Now a lot of them are concreted and they're quite safe to ride down and up. The thing is, a lot of people like to ride up and down those at speed because they are quick way, easiest way to get down is just fly down and fly back up. So please do not stop down there. If you get to the bottom of the creek and go, oh, lovely creek, and we stop and have a look, someone could be barreling through behind you and take you out. So it's a really good idea if you're in those areas to stop. Now this even happened to me last time I was on the rail trail. I went to go down, I think it was one of the creeks. Here's some of the footage. And I was about to go, and there was all these people standing on the side there. I lost my momentum, I lost my line that I was going to ride this, so I had to stop and go through. But I did, and I rode through to the other side still, but it was just so annoying that all these people were standing there in this area. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were a bit worried about the water, or there was a lot of rain. But stopping in the middle of these gullies makes things so hard when you want to just shoot through and up down yourself. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is the road crossings, particularly the highway crossings. There's a few times there you have to cross the Brisbane Valley Highway. So cars are going around 100 kilometres an hour. Even the Gap and Ness Road, you cross there, the other side of Esk. The cars are going 100 kilometres an hour. So these are really quite dangerous, and you need to watch and stop those. So a lot of times I'm saying you need to stop. You have to stop, watch the cars, make sure there's a good break and go. Particularly if you're in a group of people, the easiest way to do that is to send someone over first. They keep an eye out, and then they bring other people across as the vehicles clear. So that is something to be really aware of. There's at least 3 that I can think of, or 4 on the top of my head, where the cars are going around 100 kilometres an hour. There's a lot of little ones through the towns, they're not as fast, but yeah. So really be aware of those highway crossings. They can be quite dangerous, and just stop for a moment. Now number 3, the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail etiquette or protocol. So what that means is there are 3 types of users who are generally on the rail trails: the cyclists, the hikers, and there's horses. And there's a bit of a hierarchy on how that works. Now this is straight off the net, so I'm looking at this one here. There is cyclists must give way to walkers and horses. Walkers must give way to horses, and passing cyclists should slow down when they see a pedestrian, use their bell and give a polite verbal warning, like passing on your right, etc., with a safe gap. And the other thing I do say with horses too, and I always tell people riding the rail trail when they're passing horses too, is to actually get off your bike and walk past the horse. Now a lot of people who ride the horses, and a few times I've been on there, go, oh no, they're okay, but I think it's just better get off the horse, get off your bike, walk past the horse, and it's a lot safer. You can get a bit of distance there. Horses may not get spooked, and it's just polite too. I just feel that personally. Haven't come across a lot of hikers on the rail trail. Actually the last few times I've done it, they've been going the opposite direction, and there are actually scout groups doing a hike on the rail trail. So oddly enough, I haven't really seen anyone like that, but there are people who do it. There are people who actually ride the rail trail and walk the rail trail, I should say. So be aware of those people too. And I usually find, even when I've done the rail trail the last few times now, this is my 4th time coming up, that a lot of people are really friendly and polite, and they'd love to stop and have a chat to you. You give them half a chance. So just a rail trail code of etiquette. Next one, what was I up to? This number. number 4 too is to make sure your cycle's actually maintained. And I know it sounds stupid, in some respects it is, but if you're riding the 161 kilometers on the bike, you need to make sure your bike is pretty up to date. Send it in for a service, make sure your cables are all tightened, your brakes are all good, your tires and your tubes are really doing all right. It's just a really good idea. I mean, we took a ride today with one of the guys, and I'm going, "You mate, your bike needs a service. The gears were slipping and everything," and I spoke to the dad, and he said, yeah, we're going to get it serviced before he rides it. So make sure your bikes are really in the top notch. I mean, the distances between the towns aren't great, 20 to 30 kilometres, 10 kilometres in some spots, but you don't want to break down in the middle of the rail trail and find yourself walking to the closest town. The next one is to know your limits too as a cyclist, and even as yourself. Sometimes it can sound a really great idea to jump on that bike and go for that ride on the rail trail, but you know what, you need to know your own level of fitness too. It's not hard. A lot of the rail trail is quite easy to go. The gradients aren't great, not steep. There are a few sections where they've sort of had to deviate from the original railway track, but still you are sometimes grinding constantly for 20 to 30 k's on your bike. So just be aware of those, of your own personal limits. And yeah, also before you go out, my next one, that number, lost count now, is to make sure that you do your A, B, C, D, EQs before you even leave. What does that mean? It's a little acronym for bike riding. A meaning check your air in your tyres. B, check your brakes, make sure they're working. C, check your chain, make sure it's good, if it needs lubing, if it's not broken or anything, I guess. D is called the drop test, so you pick up your bike a little bit and drop it, make sure nothing falls off of it. E is check the ends on your handlebars. And Q is for those people who even got them, most bikes have them these days, is check your quick links, make sure they're all tight. You don't want to be riding along and your front tyre falls off. So that's your A, B, C, D, E, Q. And my last tip is have fun. It is such a fun ride, really. Every time I've ridden that ride, I've had a ball. I've ridden it 3 times now. First time I rode it was on my 20-year-old Peugeot mountain bike. I've ridden it now on my newer bike a couple of times, and it's a great little ride, and the people on the rides are great. The town and the hospitality in the towns are absolutely fantastic. People love you coming on the rail trail. So have a lot of fun, meet lots of people, enjoy it, and get some good coffee. There's some great places to stop for coffee. I'm not going to mention names, but you'll see them as you go along. There's a few favourites that I like to stop at and have a good coffee. Anyway, and there's some great bakeries too, actually. I forgot to mention those. There's some heaps of really good bakeries. They are there for you. They're there for you. They want you to come and visit your town. They want you to come and buy a coffee. They want you to buy a pie or a cake from the bakery. And people are really lovely. So everybody, that is my tips before you take on the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail ride. Probably any tip before any ride, really. But that is what I have experienced over the last couple of years. I hope you have enjoyed this video. You might have some other tips that you'd like to share in the comments. Please feel free to do so. I'd love to hear from other things or other aspects that I didn't think about. Like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you soon. We'll have another Brisbane Valley Rail Trail video out soon. Thanks for watching, Scouted Has. Bye!